This is a review of game components from thegamecrafter.com. The components made about a year ago, and I know that they keep changing some of the materials and so on over time, so I might not be quite up to date with what they're currently doing, but I thought it'd be really interesting to see what the pieces looked like and how they handled in the flesh, because obviously that's quite different than just seeing pictures of them. So here's the box. I went in this case for their plain box. Box construction here is really quite nice, and I believe that they've actually upgraded the box style. This is their big box style. It's come out a bit rough around the edges now after some fairly heavy duty handling on my part, but the box itself as it was shipped to me looked absolutely terrific. I ordered a range of components because I wanted to see what they all look like. So these are their tokens. Now these are the 2-inch tokens. They're pretty solid looking affairs. Let me just move that out of the way so you can see more detail. Just by comparison, this is a Carcassonne tile. Alright, so they're not quite as thick as a Carcassonne tile. It's only single-sided printing, of course. And crucially, it's not actually the same size, so you can't use these tiles for recreating Carcassonne. So that was the tiles. I had a tuck box made. The tuck box is okay, it feels a little flimsy. It does the job though. It just could do to be just a fraction firmer, but again the print quality on it is really good. These are some cards that I made. Now these are my money cards. I hate paper money, so I had some money cards made up, both sides. They're a gloss finish. They've sort of got a very fine hint of linen finish to it. Again, by comparison, this is a Citadel's card. The Citadel's card just feels just slightly more solid, but these work really well. They shuffle really nicely. You know, if you didn't have something to compare it with, you'd have no reason for any worries about here. The print quality on this is really amazing. This is sort of a scan of money, and the detail is absolutely wonderful. So nice set of cards there. They all match up perfectly, and as I say, they all shuffle really well. They handle really well in the hands. I had some mats done. This is a double-sided mat. The mats I'm disappointed with. They are just thick bits of card really. You certainly couldn't use them for making a playing board with. They're just not thick enough for that. You know, they're fine for, you know, putting somewhere to lay out cards or something like that. But don't think of them as being a substitute for boards, because they won't do that job. And speaking of boards, this is the board that I made. Very pleased with the board. Again, nice and solid, lovely print quality, really well bonded to the backing board. Looks the business. Looks just like a real proper board, as it should, I guess. So very pleased with the board. It is showing a little bit of signs of where it's folding, but to be honest, I'm not sure that's any different than any true manufactured board anyway. And again, just for comparison, this is a kind of a mat from Carcassonne, and the board is obviously sort of thicker quality than the mat, but this mat is so much better than the printed mat. This is a proper sort of tile thickness style board. But yeah, very pleased with the board. Like the way it folds. It says messing it up. Lovely job. And I also just picked up one of their little meeples. There's a Carcassonne meeple. And here's a Game Crafter. I think he's actually called an avatar. Terrific. Nice little wooden piece. Lovely. Just the job. So those are the Game Crafter components. Overall, they're very good. Basically, aside from the mat, which is disappointing, the rest of the stuff is absolutely spot on, absolutely terrific. Very pleased with it. As a UK purchaser, two issues. One is the shipping cost from the US to the UK is outrageous. That little box of stuff there basically cost me twice as much to ship as it did to print, near enough. I think if I remember rightly, it's about a $50 order and a $75 to ship. The other trouble I had was, we had a little bit of back and forth because of copyright issues. I'd mistakenly used an image on there that I shouldn't have done, but it just got bounced out of the queue, and it took me a while to understand what the issue was. And each time round it took another 2 weeks. It actually took me 3 attempts to get this right. It took me 2 weeks between each set, so the 1 to 5 days printing time just didn't apply, and it was about 2 weeks before it actually got printed from me, from my final correct version going up. Shipping time obviously from the UK to the US is rubbish as well. But overall, yeah, very good, very satisfactory. To be honest, using the right pieces for the right materials for the right job, looks absolutely professional. Could be any proper made game. Terrific.